Well, folks, today is Monday, August 28th, and I want you to look at something here for a second. Not a soul anywhere. Not a boat moving, no hustle and bustle on the docks, no fish being cut up. Nothing. That is a sad sight to see. Really is. And that has everything to do with the closures that are taking place this year. We had the one 3-day closure here last week. And now today was the first day of a 2-day closure, which takes place today and tomorrow. And the river will reopen on Wednesday. But you guys, if you've been following along, you saw how good the fishing has been here the last couple days. And for it to be an absolutely perfect weather day out here today, hardly a breath of wind, the river's nice and calm, for no one to be out here getting a chance to make memories, catch some fish, show new anglers what salmon fishing can be like, create that excitement. It's kind of heartbreaking. It really is. When I come out here, I'll show you guys the bridge and the lack of boats. I was out in the ocean here today, and coming back in, I only saw 2 boats and a handful of bank anglers. Whoops. Someone didn't get the memo that the river was closed, but there should have been 1,000 boats out there. It was kind of tough to see. But today is actually going to be my last day down here too. And the reason is not because fishing is bad, quite the opposite. I would love to stay down here and keep targeting these fish, but my job is to take care of my customers. And my customers and their needs come first. They want to fish a little bit closer to Portland here these next handful of trips. And with the closure already going to take place on September 4th after Labor Day down here, I might as well just move the operation back upstream up towards the Portland area. So with that, today was my last day down here at Buoy 10, and I do not get to see this in the morning as my daily commute for another 11 months. I hate it. I love this place so much, and having to go back upstream, it's gonna be fun. I get this question asked to me all the time: what's my favorite fishery? And the answer is always the same: it's the next one. The next fishery is my favorite one, and it's because if I had to do Buoy 10 every single day for a year, I would go crazy. But only getting, we did 28 of these updates here, and 3 days it was closed, and today it was closed, so there's 4 less. First couple days was out in the ocean. To really only get maybe like 20 days of fishing down here kind of breaks my heart. I remember when I first started guiding, I was down here through mid-September, and we just did incredibly well on coho late in the season. And I love this place. I just love being here. I love the challenge of it, because these fish are moving. You guys have heard me say 100 times before, every 6 to 8 hours they're moving 10, 15, 20 miles. I love that challenge. And now it's going to be heading upriver, just basically grinding the same 2 or 3 spots out constantly until the fish want to go. It's going to be crowded. Not to say it's not crowded here, but there's plenty of room to get away and find fish that want to bite if you don't want to be in the crowds here. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss this air. I'm going to miss talking to you guys. But that's enough of me whining and complaining. Well, I'll give you a report of what happened here today and what to expect when the river starts reopening here on Wednesday. We went out into deep water today. The ocean it looked just like this. In fact, the river might actually be rougher than what the ocean was today. It was unreal. Today would have been a great day to be out tuna fishing. But we ran out to about 300 feet of water, dropped in, and some of my buddies absolutely hammered them. They just whacked and stacked, and they were done pretty quick, especially since you can keep wilds now for both Chinook and coho. We just kind of got one here, one there, one here, one there, just a couple of doubles, but nothing all that great. But we ended up getting all of our fish, so can't complain. And we had them all by 9 o'clock. Great day out there on the ocean, pretty easy. Shallow on the line counters, 20, 25 on the line counters did best. And spin fish, of course, the Misty River was probably my number one, but it's ocean fishing. The most important thing to do when you're out there in the salt is just find the fish. If you're not seeing them on the graph, if you're not seeing them being caught by other boats, my one buddy, he calls me up. He's like, dude, we're on them quads, constantly fish hooked up, can't get away from them. I'm like, what are your numbers, bud? And he sends them to me. He's literally a half mile to the north of me, and I'm getting one here, one there, and he's a half mile to the north. I look up, I see his boat. It's like, oh, well, just being off by that much can be the difference between catching fish and not catching fish. All that being said, what that means is that this week we actually have some weather coming in the Portland area, as well as down here, some rain. And if that rain comes through on these minus tides and gets sucked out into the ocean, the hope is that those fish out there in 300 feet with that minus tide, all that Columbia River water getting drawn out and this fresh rainwater coming, plus you add on growing tides up to big tides, and what I saw coming back in on the rip on that incoming tide with birds working everywhere, it could be a really, really good coho bite through Labor Day weekend, which would be awesome. So for you folks that are coming down here, there's gonna be tons of Chinook still here. I mean, they're everywhere. They haven't gone anywhere yet. They're still coming in. They're still being caught out there in the ocean, so there's still more of them coming. But the coho could really add to the action down here, which would just be phenomenal for you guys. I'm gonna be missing out. I'm gonna be upriver chasing them, but I hope you guys have a great time down here this weekend, because it should be fairly good, especially with that rain coming. So what am I going to do next year? Well, so I'll probably, since I got to clean up camp and get all that taken care of, what I'll probably do is I'll do one video here the next day or two as a recap, kind of what I learned, what I think I could have done better, what I could do better next year. Just a full recap of what's happened here last month. And then I'll do a separate video on how I'm targeting the fish upriver, kind of go through the gear there real quick. I don't do these videos upriver, but I can at least do a how-to, rod reel line technique and thought process when you're targeting these fish upriver. So hopefully that helps you guys. I'm sad. I'm sure you can tell. I'm gonna miss this right here. I'm gonna miss seeing those tankers in the morning, the sun coming up behind Tongue Point, ship swinging as my little tide clock. Man, I love this place. Oh man. All right, time to go back upriver. And the good news is that upriver, I don't have to release kings anymore. Well, it's been a really fun season for me, very productive season. I hope you guys enjoyed it here too. Until next year, 11 months from now, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all the support. We'll see everyone not soon enough. Not soon enough. Thanks everybody. Later.